I don't think we've been a sovereign nation since they shot JFK. And when I say they, it's like people online say, what do you mean by they? I'm talking about Israel. I don't want you guys to read in between. I'm talking about Israel. So let's stop making that a taboo subject because they've gone mask down. Everything they're doing is demonic. I want nothing to do with it. I will never support Israel into the future after what they've done to these children. The starvation campaign. I don't care. Please write your article. You've already written them all. I don't know what you could add about me. But I do not support Israel. And I don't think that Jewish Americans should support Israel. And I hope that they're now having those conversations. I see many of them recognizing that they have been propagandized into believing they have to support this demonic state. The master of the universe. And that's troubling because this is a state that has a hexagram on their flag, okay? They're even lying about the history of the Star of David. It's a hexagram. It's a cult. You can't just wipe that away. It's not even a long time ago. There's tons of books. It's showing you that that's a hexagram. What are you pretending? It's a cultic. Yeah, you're just another array trying to wipe it. You're like, nope, that's not. That is a religious. No, it's a hexagram. Okay, we're not stupid. We're going to talk about all of that stuff. I could rant about the lies that nation has told. I mean, not even that. The Star of David used to be the flag of Morocco. Okay, why? That's weird. It's not a Jewish state. Why? What was going on in Morocco? What's going on in Algeria and Tunisia and Morocco? Yes, it is an occult nation. There's no question about that. Everything that they are involved in is occult. And that's why we have to sort of wake the world up to this very quickly, because they have a lot of power. And the only way that we are going to be able to fight this is by being willing to tell the truth.
Represent a fringe minority of Jewish people that want nothing more than political power. It is just like Black Lives Matter. These people are ultimately Marxists, okay? And when Black Lives Matter was going around calling everybody racist, it was this implicit threat to white people. Do what we say, do what we want, or we will ruin all those people racist. We get the media to say those people were racist. But what if that is what is happening right now in Hollywood, if there is just a very small ring of specific people who are using the fact that they are Jewish to shield themselves from any criticism? It's food for thought, right? And I think, again, there have been enough people that are speaking out about a ring in Hollywood, also a ring potentially in DC, that we should start to ask those questions. All of us, Black, Spanish, Jewish, Chinese, Japanese, all Americans should want answers, because this appears to be something that is quite sinister.
What can only be described as demonic behavior since its creation, right? And so you're going to ignore every other biblical passage. You're going to misinterpret this one. It's a dispensationalist heresy. Dispensationalist heresy, which was factually funded by the World Zionist Congress. And we can do another. Okay for us to tell the truth about where he was at on his spiritual journey. I don't know why that's a big deal at all. They're lying to you about where Charlie was on his faith journey. That's hush hush. The Catholic thing must stay hush hush. Why? It's all kind of adding up, right? They're attacking Tucker Carlson because he's attacking Christian Zionism. They're angry at Charlie because it's looking like he might get off the Christian Zionist reservation, because that's what it is, okay? That's a plantation. And what they are mining is your emotion. What they are mining is your belief in God. And there's no question in my mind. It is corrupt, but it is also dangerous. It is dangerously corrupt. And I think that Charlie learned this lesson the hard way.
These claims keep coming up too often in Hollywood for me to be comfortable with it, right? We saw this, obviously, it's not just now the Diddy lawsuit. It's not just now Michael Jackson. We also have seen these claims with Kanye West, notoriously, obviously, when he tweeted out, I'm about to go DEFCON 3 on some Jews, and the media freaked out, and people in the Jewish community were understandably very scared, not knowing what he meant. And I very much abstained from speaking much about the issue because people were so emotional that people couldn't hear, even if I had shared. And even when Kanye did share that he was speaking about specific people, he actually named some of those individuals. He shared personal text messages of a friend of his, a personal trainer to the stars, who again happens to be Jewish, who was threatening to put him in the hospital.
Unless it is true that there was a big payday that was on the line. And if Charlie radically stated that he was done with Israel, if Charlie said he had no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause because of, and I quote, Jewish donors, the behavior of Jewish donors, if he said that, yes or no, well, a bunch of Christians are sold slop and are told that it is their God duty to support the nation of Israel while looking away from the fact that they're acting real weird in the hours after Charlie's assassination. He would apologize for lying about Charlie's position on Israel, but he didn't. He did. He lied. He lied over and over and over again about his position on Israel. And when he got caught, you would think that he never even flinched on Israel. He loved Israel so much. And then I just waited, because we're fishing now. Convinced by this before? Probably. Maybe we all thought every time you mentioned the Holocaust, you go, I must do my part to make sure it doesn't happen. Keep doing your content, telling people that what you do is biblical while you ignored the glaring obvious crimes of Israel, which you refuse to ever denounce your support for. You know what I'm not doing? I'm not killing tens of thousands of children in Palestine and trying to legitimize it to my audience by telling them that somehow this is what God wants, because it's right here in the Bible. I have read my messages over and over again with Charlie, ones that I have not even revealed, and this to me feels like a Christ mission, to wake up the world and make them aware of what snake it is that has wrapped around all of the nations, and it does so in the name of God. In the name of God, Christian Zionists are telling you to support a nation, okay, that has mass murdered children. You can watch the videos. They're telling you to do this because it is your biblical duty. When are you going to wake up? Charlie Kirk, he was the #1 Zionist for a very long time, Christian Zionist for a very long time. Look at how they are treating him now that he is dead. They are lying on his name. I count myself among those people. For the first 6 years of my career, I genuinely had no idea. What I can tell you is that this has completely changed a lot for me. I just, first and foremost, just want to apologize to you. Like, I'm genuinely embarrassed at my ignorance, and it's confounding for me that I thought that I was on the side of the party of, truth and America first and patriots and caring about our veterans. And I'm realizing now that so many of these people are cowards. They're cowards. They know the truth. They lie to people as they're coming up in this movement, and they are completely occupied. JFK was assassinated, and it is a fact that prior to his assassination, he was adamant that he wanted AIPAC, which I think was going by a different name at that time, to register as a foreign agent, and that they had ignored his demand that they register as a foreign agent. And then when he was shot a couple of months later, he no longer had to register. They no longer had to register as a foreign agent. It is also a fact that leading up to his death, he was having fights, which they have not declassified, arguments with the Prime Minister of Israel. Members of Congress, except for him, have AIPAC handlers. We can assume this is also true of nearly all Democrats. In terms of when we say America first, for whatever reason, we have this magic carve out. And you cannot pretend that that's not because AIPAC spends $100 million in our election. And this gets back to what we were talking about, whether it's Big Pharma, whether it's Israel, everyone's for sale in DC. And so I have been very disappointed with Trump on his perspectives about Gaza. I have been disappointed, by the way, he's the last person I'm disappointed with, because I've been disappointed, as we saw all last year, with the conservatives, people that say they're Christians, who are condoning this on the basis of what? Like, you're saying, oh, well, they're Muslims, so who cares? And on stages and tell you to stop following Tucker Carlson are working on behalf of the Lord, okay? I don't think that that's the case. I think these people that are telling you that you are not allowed to question Israel or you're going to go to hell are not working on behalf of God. I think that they worship specific people with military ties.